It's unboxing time! What's going on, everybody? This is Jay from Maji and Jay. Today in this video we're going to be unboxing and also reviewing my all new Syma X5SW that came from the website gearbest.com. If I remember correctly, I paid about $55 or $65 for this unit. I really can't remember because it has been sitting on my desk now for over 3 weeks. So finally I decided to go ahead and unbox it for you guys because you do deserve it. And it's been a little while since I don't unbox and review a quadcopter, and I think this unit is actually very, very affordable. So here we can see already from the front of the box that it looks very similar to the Syma X5C that I unboxed and reviewed about a year ago, or almost a year and a half now. And it was a very popular video. A lot of people loved it, first of all, because it's very affordable, and for the most part, it was a very durable quadcopter, I would say, in my opinion. So a lot of people loved it, and that's why I'm bringing here the next generation of it. And we can see that this time we do have some differences on the box, even though the quadcopter looks almost identical to the previous model, in which it does. But we also got the Fpv technology now. This time it's going to be through Wi-Fi. Now, something that I didn't like about the Wi-Fi transmission is that it's only going to give you about 100 feet of range versus a 5.8 gigahertz controller would have given you about 300 to 350 feet of range. So Wi-Fi transmission is not always the most accurate, but according to the price, we really can't judge this product, and I think that it is actually very, very cool. And even though we have seen the box here from the front, of course, I will just recap everything that we got on the front. You can see here the picture of the quadcopter. This is the model of the unit. On the top, the brand is going to be Syma. On the upper right hand side corner, we can see that it says there that it is recommended for ages 12 and up. And even though this is considered a toy, guys, just be careful. If you're going to be giving this to a child that it is 12 years of age or less, just make sure that you do it under adult supervision, because these blades do spin at a very high speed. And even though you guys may not realize it, if this thing crashes in one of your kids' face or an object, it could cause serious damage, or sometimes it could cause serious injury. So make sure that you guys are very careful. I know that right now we're on summertime here in the USA and a lot of kids are on vacation. So just use a lot of caution when operating this thing, because again, it could be lethal for many people. Then we can see also on the front of the box, we have there what appears to be an iPhone. That's because this thing is going to be compatible with iOS and also Android, which is definitely a plus. Then looking here towards the left side of the box, we have nothing really special. We're just going to have the model number, which is the X5SW. On the bottom, we're going to find the QR code so that we can download the application for Syma, and of course they want to advertise other products that they have, so of course they're going to be providing this QR code for their convenience. This is also good for support, so if you guys don't know how to operate the system, or you need the manuals to be downloaded into a phone or whatever the case may be, you can also use this QR code for that purpose. This unit, of course, we know is made in China. It comes with a 500 power milliamp battery. Here we can also see the measurements if you guys really want to inquire about that information. I got the white color version. It comes in black as well, and I do prefer the white color version. It makes it look a little bit more like the Phantom. We can also see here some other specifications and other warnings as well, so you guys can feel free to read this. I never do it because I, for the most part, know all the warnings and all that good information that we normally get. Then looking towards the right side of the box, here we're going to find again the model number, but this time we had 2 QR codes, and one of them is for the application on Android devices. In this case, the left hand side is going to be for iOS, the right hand side is going to be for Android operating system. And now taking a look here towards the upper side of the box, not only are we going to find the handle itself, but we're also going to see some of the specifications. This unit has the head-free technology, which is also known as Headless Mode. That means that if you guys enable a button on your remote controller that I'll be showing you later on in this video, you can set it up to where forward, it's always forward, backwards, it's always backwards, and the same from side to side. So that way, if you're a beginner, you can operate this without getting lost or knowing which side is the front side of the quadcopter and so on. So that's a very nice feature. Also has the 360 inversion flip technology, and that is something very common on these cheaper quadcopters. It has a 6-axis gyroscope. It comes with a 2 megapixel sensor camera, as I mentioned earlier. The remote control is going to be 2.4 gigahertz and has the Wi-Fi FPV technology as well. So here we see a barcode for inventory purposes, and then towards the back of this box, we're going to find something very similar that we saw on the other side. So we don't have a lot of special information on here. So with that being said, let me go ahead and open the box, and that way we can check and see exactly what comes inside, which is what you guys want, right? So let me go ahead and get started here. And now, after carefully opening this box, I noticed that it is a hood type of box, so that means that you don't have to drag it from the side. All you have to do is just open the upper side of it, and you're going to find here the quadcopter itself, and of course we have already the transmitter on this side. The quadcopter is sitting on the right side of the box. We also got the prop guards together with the propellers that come already installed on the unit. We have some spare parts on here. Underneath we're going to have some other parts so that we can hook up the camera or the phone into the transmitter itself. We got the wireless camera and some other goodies on here, so let me go ahead and remove this divider. Alrighty YouTube, and now that we got everything outside of that box, here we're going to find the other accessories that I mentioned earlier, and all we have is just the stand for landing. As you guys can tell, and the great news is that the screws are already pre-installed on there, so all we have to do is just screw them in. Nothing too difficult here, guys. This is very easy to install. We even have the screwdriver, so that way we don't have to use our own tools. And also the prop guards, they do come already pre-installed there with one screw. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. There we go. We can see that yes, we do have the screws already on there, so we don't have to worry about getting them. Also, this little I would say phone holder is very easy to install. It just goes right above the antenna, so all you have to do is just put it on top of the antenna. Then at the end you're going to push it in, and that's pretty much it. And now your smartphone will be placed on here, so that way you can have the best view. With that being said, let me go ahead and get this installed. So far I don't see the battery anywhere around here, but I do believe that I have some batteries around the house. I'm not sure if that was maybe a mistake by GearBest. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be confirming that with you guys later on. For right now, let me go ahead and assemble this and get back to you guys. Well, now that everything has been completely assembled, here we can see how nice it looks with the prop guards installed. These are the landing gears, and like I said, there's only one screw located on each part. The landing gears are all separated, so you guys are going to find 4 different legs and then also 4 different prop guards with one screw in the middle. The propellers themselves, they come already pre-installed, and you guys get some spare in case of an accident, something breaks, just to have some more spare parts to put on here, which is definitely great. And then finally on the bottom, this little cam is very easy to install. It's actually a little slide that there is located on the bottom here. To release it, you guys had to press this little, I would say, button, and then you push towards the back, and this is the cam itself, and then it goes connected here to the motherboard directly on the side. Great news about this quadcopter is that it comes with an on and off switch, so that's definitely great because we don't have to be removing the battery on the back all the time. Now, talking about the battery, I did find it's because it was very deep inside. You guys can see that we have a big compartment on here, so maybe we can fit a bigger battery. This is the 500 power milliamp battery that I was mentioning before, and I did find it. That's because it was very tucked in. I already charged it as well with this USB cable that I mentioned earlier, and it's very simple to charge it. It comes also with the LED light, so when the LED light goes off, that means that everything is fully charged. So let me see if I can actually hook this up here and connect it for you guys so you have an idea. Every time it is unplugged, the light's going to remain on, but when you plug it and the charge has been completed, this light will turn off. We don't have any other color, so only going to be the red color. So yes, it has been fully charged. Now let me go ahead and set it up here on the back of the quadcopter. And once the battery is installed, all we have to do is just hide this wire inside, and then we're going to close the back compartment so that the battery doesn't come off while in the middle of the flight. That's very important. And then now everything's set to go, guys. Now before we power this thing on, we have to turn on the transmitter itself. Now don't forget that you guys need to install 4 AA batteries. I would recommend name brands like Duracell or Energizer. In this case, I have Radiovac. Radiovac is a decent battery. It's not the best in the market, but I happen to have them around the house, so I use them. And once that's completed, all we have to do is just turn it on. This is the power button. This is the lever so that we can take off. This is the lever to go forward, backwards, and from side to side. As we already know, these are the trims so that we can balance the quadcopter itself. On the top, you're going to have the 360 inversion flip button, which is the one on the right, and then the one on the left is going to be the headless mode. So everything is very self-explanatory. This is a very simple remote controller to use, and again, it is a 2.4 gigahertz controller. On the top, you got the Syma logo, and then here in the bottom, you're going to have the LCD screen giving us here the battery indicator. Now this time, it is showing like we don't have any battery. That's because it is not yet paired to the quadcopter, but we're going to be seeing that in just a moment. Then we also got the signal bar on the upper left hand side corner. Right now it is faking to have a signal because again this thing is off right now, so it is not giving us a proper signal. And then also we got this little bars. This is for the balancing, in case you guys need to balance it a little bit. This would tell you exactly where you have it set up at the current moment. So it's very basic. These buttons are fake. They're not going to be real buttons. As you guys can notice, they don't click. They are stiff. The same thing happens here with the arrows and the OK button. These are all fake buttons. The only buttons that we have is the ones on the middle. So like I said guys, this is a very basic remote controller. Now in this case, we're going to be pairing the Fpv Wi-Fi technology with the Meizu M2 that I unboxed and reviewed. Well, actually unboxed and gave you guys the first look. So here we can notice already that I was able to delete all the Chinese application and I got the Play Store on there. This is the application that we have to download. And basically what you guys need to get is a QR code reader. And then you're going to scan the box according to the operating system. In this case, it was Android. So after that, it's going to start downloading the application. And it says there, Syma FPV. That's pretty much it. So we're going to be jumping into the details in just a moment. For right now, let me go ahead and pair it. So after the remote controller has been turned on, all we have to do is turn on the quadcopter itself. And right now you're going to see that the lights are blinking very fast. This means that it hasn't been able to communicate with the transmitter as of right now. So you guys have to give it, I would say, about a minute or two. Also, we can see that the front side has the orange LED lights. The back are going to be green. That's a very nice touch. And also the cam, once it's connected, the light's going to go solid green. So right now it's blinking red and green. That means that it is not connected. And keep in mind that this camera itself is not going to save it on an SD card. We don't have an SD card slot this time. It's going to be directly on your remote controller. And there we have it guys. The lights have finally blinked at a lower pace. This means that we are ready to pair it with the quadcopter itself. And to do the final pairing is very easy. You guys are going to pretend like you're going to take off and then bring it back down likewise. And now you're going to notice that all the lights are solid state. So that means that we don't have, or actually that means that we are all set to take off. And let me see if I can just give you a basic demonstration here. You can see that everything has been set to go. So that's very cool. And now the next thing we're going to do here is go ahead and pair the Fpv camera into the smartphone itself. And then let me just place it this side so that way we can start recording the boxes. So all we have to do first is go to settings. And then you go into Wi-Fi where it says networks. Let me see if I can get to it. And there we go. We are already on Wi-Fi. Then you're going to find this network. It says FPV Wi-Fi 0883. That's the one that you guys want to connect to. Right now I'm connected to my normal house router. So what we're going to do is click on FPV. And then the great news is that we don't have any password. So it's just going to connect directly to it. And it takes a moment or so. It says obtaining IP address. Now I did test this quadcopter already as I did the cut, and the range is not really that far. I'll be explaining that later on in the video. But yes, here we can notice already that yes, it has connected. So all we have to do is go directly into the application. And this is a very basic app. We can see that at first glance it looks very cool. When we click on start, here's going to pair with it automatically. So you guys don't have to press any other button except for start. And this is the FPV right now currently on. So you guys can notice that it has about a second delay. It is not very smooth, I would say. It's a little choppy, but we really can't expect much for a $55 quadcopter. I think this is very cool, and this is a 2 megapixel sensor camera as well. On the outside, it's going to do a little bit better with nice sunshine and so on. Now here, let me just show you what we have on this application. On the upper right hand side corner, we can see there a Wi-Fi antenna. Now red means that right now the signal is perfect. That's because I'm only about a foot away from the quadcopter itself. So as the signal starts decreasing, these lines are going to turn white. That means that the signal is not going to be all the way full like it is now. Also, we got this little folder so that we can see and check out everything that we have recorded. We got this little toggle so that we can start recording. This is for pictures, and this is in case we want to share. So that's very cool. Now here I have taken already a video before. You guys can notice I have 2 videos on there. So let me see if I can see them, and there they are. You guys can see that I have recorded, so everything is going to be recorded directly into your phone. The same with iOS, it's going to be recorded directly into your phone, and with Android. So I think guys that with that being said, we are all set to go to the park, test it out, and see how this baby is going to perform. and I hope you guys enjoy it. And now we have arrived at the park. It is a very nice day in Florida, and the great news is that today it is not too windy. I would say that the wind speed is about 2 or 3 miles, so it should do perfectly well. I have already paired the transmitter directly into the quadcopter as well as the FPV transmission, so everything is working perfectly well. We're going to be taking off. Make sure you guys enjoy it. Okay, and there we have it for the testing of this unit. We can come to a conclusion that this thing is quite cool for the price. Now, I do have some complaints about it. The first one that I have is that the FPV signal wasn't that great. Sometimes there was a little bit of a delay, so you guys can't really rely on the picture that you're seeing. Otherwise, that delay can cause a crash, so I would just definitely recommend that you use this only for recording purposes, not to actually fly this thing and control it by just looking at the screen on your smartphone. Second, after 200 feet of getting away or flying away from the remote controller, I noticed that there was some signal droppage, so the quadcopter pretends like it's going to just crash, and then all of a sudden the signal grabs again and then it starts flying. So I would just recommend that you guys don't go further than 150 feet, which is not a lot, but it still is fun for a lot of people out there. Like I said, guys, keep in mind that this is a very affordable unit, so we really can't expect much. This is basically considered an entry-level quadcopter. This is ideal for those kids that just want to try it out, or for those adults who are learning into this new hobby and you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a very expensive quadcopter. Then this is a great way to start. You can start learning with something cheap like this, and for the most part it's going to do its job. But yes, there are some pros and cons to it. I would say mostly cons when it comes to signal and also the camera quality. But other than that, I think it's definitely worth the $55. And again, I got this from gearbest.com. Make sure that you guys check out the link below. Also, if you have any questions, please comment on the section below. Like the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next one.